First of all, I'm going to take full credit for this beautiful weather we're having. It's probably the nicest day of the year so far, and that pleases me to no end. It's great to have a parade. It's great to have the Memorial Day festivities, a sign of literally the summer season is upon us. But we also have to remember there is certainly a solemn element to today's events. And, you know, certainly we want people to celebrate and to have fun, but we'd also like people to take a moment to pause and remember what this day is all about for people that laid their lives on the line for us, who died in the cause of freedom. And that's important to remember them. So this is a very important day for me, as I will mention in my remarks in just a few minutes.
We have a wonderful day. We have a very large crowd, very enthusiastic. And clearly as today, it's a day when we remember those who paid the ultimate sacrifice. And I'm honored to be here among many of our veterans who have served this country to keep our freedoms and to keep our liberties. So to all in attendance, we hope they have a great day. As I said, it's beautiful weather, and let us never forget those who have given so much for our country.
Just a sense of community. Everybody's out. It's a beautiful day. We get to shut down the road. The kids have fun. It's a great day, and we get to honor those people that make this all possible, our veterans.
I love being here and representing the Freeholder Board, and I was earlier in Fanwood at their memorial service. I'm looking forward to this service, and I just think it's a nice opportunity to take time out of the day and represent the board, but also be here for the veterans, not only those serving in Iraq and Afghanistan, all around the world, but those who gave their lives for our freedom. And freedom isn't free, and it's a nice day to pay respects to them.
We consider it an honor just to be out here and do this for them. All they do for our country, we want to say thank you to all our vets and everybody that serves us.
It's a beautiful day. Luckily, we've had nice days for the last several years, and this one, I don't think we could ask for a better day, not a cloud in the sky. It's beautiful.
Is this the best weather that you've had for the Memorial Day Parade as long as you can remember?
The best, yeah, as long as I can remember. I think in my 6 years marching, we only got rained out once, but this is probably the best. Low humidity, it's just gorgeous. I expect that we'll have a high turnout.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 2008 Memorial Observances to honor those who sacrificed their lives to service America. Father John Nielsen, former rector of the All Saints Episcopal Church, will now deliver the invocation.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, on this Memorial Day, our hearts are imbued with solemn remembrance of those who have served this nation with devotion and pride, and especially so many who have made the supreme sacrifice to preserve our way of life. As we pay tribute to their patriotism, may our gratitude for their service deepen and our memory of them never fade. Indeed, more than self did they love their country. Dear Lord, we are also mindful of those who so faithfully served in the Korean War and whom we honor this day. May their deeds and sacrifices not have been in vain. And now, Father, we humbly beseech Thee to bless our nation, our community of Scotch Plains, Fanwood, our families and all veterans, and those who now serve in the armed forces of our country, protecting and defending liberty. May you grace with your presence and love this day, these proceedings and celebrations. May your peace, which passes all understanding, be upon us and those whom we love and honor on this occasion. In your most holy name now, we pray. Amen.
Please join me in the salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to this republic of which we stand, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Scotch Plains Fanwood High School state champion, Raider Band. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our 2008 Memorial Day festivities. It is always appropriate at this time to recognize those dignitaries here with us. And perhaps the most important dignitaries are those that have worked so hard to make this day possible. Our Scotch Plains Fanwood Parade Committee for 2008. And this year we were led by Don Wussler, our new chairman of our parade committee. Thank you, Don. And the rest of our committee: Anthony Parenti, Joe Dillon, Phil Gans, Teresa Mullen, Anthony Melendez, Joe Donatelli Jr., Jennifer Witt, Tony Rollis, Marjorie Fitzgibbons, and all of the DECA students. Thank you very much for making this day a wonderful success so far. I'd also like to thank Bill McMeekan and our entire television crew from Scotch Plains Television for televising this event. Make sure you smile today because you're going to be on television later today, Channel 34, Scotch Plains TV. We have some other dignitaries here with us today. From our Union County Freeholder Board, we have Alexander Mirabella. From the Fanwood Borough Council, we have Mayor Colleen Marr. And from the Fanwood Council, Donna Dolce, Anthony Parenti, Bruce Walsh, and David Ballion. My colleagues on the Township Council, Deputy Mayor Nancy Malul, Councilman Kevin Glover, and I'd like to recognize two former mayors that I see in attendance, Mayor Mauro Cecchio and Mayor Joan Pappin. Another special dignitary, which we will hear from later, from the Korean Consul in New York City, Mr. Mung Yil Lee. Ladies and gentlemen, friends and neighbors, I stand before you today with a touch of sadness and sentimentality as I participate in my 12th and final Memorial Day service and parade as a member of the Scotch Plains Township Council. The the last 8 of which I've had the distinct privilege of addressing you as your mayor. Considering the solemnity of the day, I have always felt a good deal of emotion as I stood in this place, but this time around my heart is a little bit heavier, and my eyes are perhaps a little mistier, and I hope you will excuse me if that emotion surfaces over the next few minutes. These Memorial Day gatherings have perhaps had a more personal meaning and satisfaction for me than any other event in which I have participated as mayor, and this is for so many reasons. First, I had the pleasure of being with the citizens of our communities in larger numbers than on any other day during the year. And if you're not marching in the parade, you were certainly there on the parade route, waving your flags, cheering us along, and displaying your best sense of patriotism that you could muster. And with such a beautiful day at hand, I expect nothing less in my last stroll with my council colleagues down Park and Martine Avenues today. Second, as I related to you in the very first Memorial Day address I delivered several years ago, today is a special day when we choose to de-emphasize the many things that make us diverse and different, and rather celebrate the one thing that we all share in common, being Americans. So instead of identifying ourselves today as Christian Americans, Jewish Americans, Muslim Americans, African Americans, Asian Americans, Euro Americans, Native Americans, gay Americans, straight Americans, or any other variation of hyphenated Americans, we opt instead to shed our hyphens for the day and celebrate and remember and mourn together as Americans. The third reason that Memorial Day in our community holds such import to me is that I am allowed to be in the presence of so many who have donned the uniforms of our armed services in defense of this nation over the last several decades, one of whom you will hear from shortly. I have shared this podium and recognized in attendance those that have served during World War II, the Korean War, the Vietnam War, and in the more recent missions in Afghanistan and the Persian Gulf theaters. Sacrifice in defense of our nation. We have always felt it proper on this day to recognize those that have served and were prepared to make that sacrifice, but were by divine providence returned home to us and their families. We must also recognize that at times of war and conflict, those brave men and women coming home to us do not necessarily return in the same condition which they departed. At times they return to our shores with broken bodies and broken spirits. And when they do not return home, they leave behind broken families. Ladies and gentlemen, I submit to you here again today, as I have in the past, that the way our heroic veterans and the families they left behind have been treated by our government and by its people have been a national disgrace that has gone on for too many years. And with all the money our government spends, both here and abroad, you would think that this nation's people would demand that the necessary resources be made available to make our heroic veterans and their family as whole as possible again and give them the dignity that they so richly deserve. And so to the men and women of our armed forces who have shared this podium and this assemblage with me during my tenure as mayor, it has indeed been an honor to stand in your presence. And I humbly thank you for your service to this nation and this community, and in so many cases, I thank you for your lasting friendship. To those that have also served over the years in making this Memorial Day service and parade such a resounding success, you have this community's everlasting gratitude. And finally, to those citizens of Scotch Plains and Fanwood who have shared this special day by marching with us or supporting us along the parade route, I thank you for making these events most memorable to me. May this and future Memorial Days carry for you the same special meaning it has for me. May God bless you, and may God bless the greatest nation that civilization has ever known, the United States of America. It now gives me great pleasure to introduce to you one of the aforementioned heroes that have shared this assemblage with us so many times before, and also one of the aforementioned people that I consider a good friend. Our parade grand marshal today is Mr. Don Wussler. Don is a lifelong resident of Scotch Plains. He graduated from our high school in 1952. Later that year, he was drafted into the Army. He did his basic training down in Fort Jackson, South Carolina, and arrived in Korea in March of 1953. Don was wounded on July 9th, 1953, on the infamous Pork Chop Hill, where he received his Purple Heart Medal. Don was discharged from the Army in August of 1954, and he returned to this community, has been a steadfast community leader ever since. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me a great deal of pleasure to introduce to you our Parade Grand Marshal, Mr. Don Wussler.
Thank you, Mayor. Before I start, I want to recognize all our veterans here. A lot of them from the Korean War, a lot of them from the Second War. Please stand up, gentlemen. Thank you. Good morning. I stand here before you, an honor that I never expected, but thank you. 142 years have passed since a drugstore owner in Waterloo, New York, suggested that all businesses close for one day to honor in a solemn and patriotic manner the fallen soldiers who lost their lives during the Civil War, an idea that was well received. For one business day, businesses closed. Widows placed wildflowers on fresh graves. Townspeople made wreaths and crosses to place upon the headstones. Flags flew proudly at half-staff. An American tradition was formed. Memorial Day brings with it something different for everyone. Memories of fallen comrades, friends, sons, daughters, brothers, and sisters. It brings with us a solemn state of mind and burning desire to honor those with many backgrounds who have proudly stood behind the ideas upon which this great country was founded and were willing for that right. George Patton once said that a service during a Memorial Day service, "In my mind, we came here to thank God that the men and women like these lived rather than regret that they died." As we stand here together today, we're reminded that the cost of freedom comes with a high price in humanity terms. And as we remember a nation that has lost, we celebrate the lives lived and are forever grateful. Today we celebrate the contributions of those who have paid the ultimate price in the name of freedom and peace. We celebrate those who served in conflicts to protect our land, those who surrendered their dreams, preserved the right of our nation, who hoped to fought for American free. We need to recognize their service, respect their devotion to duty, and mirror their devotion by doing whatever it takes to ensure that the purpose of which they fought will forever be remembered. All of the above in order to repay our debt to them, we grateful citizens must honor the obligation to preserve their memory. We must not remember our fallen heroes. It is our duty to teach our youth that nothing comes without cost, and that sacrifices are meaningless without remembrance. Our nation fell among the most patriotic patriots. They loved their country, so they readily endured long periods of time in dangerous foreign lands. Above all the values, freedom without hesitation bravely stood ready to give their all in the name of God and the country. As we gather today in celebration of the lives of these courageous men and women, I ask that you not only pay tribute to them, but also to their families. Though we cannot fully comprehend the sorrow that they carry, we must encourage the preservation of their spirit, dream, and sacrifice. We stand united under the same centennial of freedom that our fallen men and women of the past have gallantly defended. With that, my wish is that we all leave here today with a renewed sense of patriotism and hope, because hope embodies what has made our country what it is. From each gravestone at Arlington and every patriot that lays to rest overseas, each represents a military member who left behind a legacy of freedom and sacrifice. For that, we are forever indebted. God bless you, and God bless America. Thank you.
Thank you, Don, for those remarks, and thank you for the service to your nation and to this community. Before I introduce our next speaker, I'd like to introduce our representative from the General Assembly from the 22nd District. Linda Stender is here. The next individual I'm going to introduce is the Honorable Mung-Gil Lee, Consul, Republic of Korea, Korean Consulate General in New York. Mr. Lee has served for 20 years in the Republic of Korea Diplomatic Corps, including service at their embassy in Washington, D.C. and in Nigeria. He also attended the University of California at San Diego, studying in international relations. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Mung-Gil Lee.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is a beautiful day. Well, Mayor Marks, Mr. Wasler, and Korean War veterans, and the ladies and gentlemen, it's a great privilege and honor for me to be invited to this meaningful event today at this beautiful towns of Scotch Plains and Fanwood, and honor the Korean War veterans for their courage, sacrifice, and commitment to safeguard peace and freedom on the Korean Peninsula more than 50 years ago. Well, Korean War veterans, I admire the way you lived. Instead of talking, you acted. You went to defend Korea against communist aggression, a country you never knew before, Koreans, the people you never met before. I belong to post-Korean War generation in South Korea, but I know that we Koreans feel deeply indebted to you and your sacrifices, and feel proud to be your good old friends for generations to come. A couple of years ago, I had chances to visit North Korea for nuclear negotiations. That was a city close to Hamhung, Hungnam, which some of you may remember. I was able to take glimpses at the deprived and oppressed lives of the people living in the northern part of the peninsula. I was one of the bare witnesses who could realize how much difference you made to the fate of Koreans and how much contributions you made for the betterment of the whole world. Thanks to your sacrifices and bravery, South Korea was able to turn from a war-torn nation into an economic powerhouse in the Northeast Asia and a strong military security ally in the world with United States. Just a few decades after the end of the Korean War. I've never met people in our two nations who questioned the fundamentals of the Korea-US relationship. Whatever challenges that may lie ahead, I'm sure that our bilateral relationship will remain rock solid based on our common belief in such inalienable values as freedom, democracy, and market economy. And it will lead us to ever more vibrant bilateral alliance based on our long-standing mutual trust. Thank you, and God bless you all.
Thank you, Mr. Lee, for your service and your friendship. Finally, the last group of dignitaries I think it would be appropriate to recognize at this point. I know we have a few of them sitting here. Anyone that has served in the uniform of our armed forces, especially abroad, whether it was in Korea or anywhere else. Gentlemen, I'd like you to stand, and anyone else in our audience tonight, please step forward. Thank you very much.
Hello everybody, and welcome to downtown Scotch Plains on Park Avenue as we get set for the Memorial Day Parade 2008 on a beautiful day. Temperatures right now in the 70s, going up to the low 80s today, so one of the nicer Memorial Day parades. Very few clouds in the sky, the sun is very bright, and we are just about getting set to go. We are ending the ceremony down by the gazebo, and the police is ready to go to start the parade, and I would like to welcome my color commentator for today, Sarah Drum. Sarah, how are you?
I am brilliant. The sun is very nice. It's not too hot, so I'm not sweating, but I'm not cold, so it's good.
And of course, my name is Rob Dawson. I have come back home after college at the University of Maryland, so it's always good to be back home as we are getting set for what looks to be a great parade, and I think that is the end of the ceremony right there as they are clapping after the wreaths have been presented. And of course, this year's theme is celebrating the Korean War veterans. Of course, this is the 55th anniversary of the end of the war that started in 1950. Of course, the United States helped South Korea against communist North Korea, and that is who we are honoring today, the veterans of the Korean War. And we want to remind everyone the parade route for today follows the same as it has been for many years now. It starts at Park Avenue and Front Street in Scotch Plains, progresses south on Park Avenue. Some groups turn on to Park from Front Street, including the Raider Marching Band, and they will go down into the town of Fanwood, past Park Middle School, past Westfield Road. They'll go through Midway Avenue and then go through North, cross the bridge, and on the other side is where the Fanwood ceremony is taking place right now as they await the parade coming down the street. And then the parade will end as they turn onto LeGrand Avenue to the right and end at LeGrand Park, where there's usually some festivities down there as well. So a good mile and a half at least for the parade route for these marchers.
It is going to be good. Some say the Walk of Fame is in Hollywood. I say no. It is right here in Scotch Plains.
And for those of you who don't know, as well, down the parade route, some of the local businesses are out. I know, for one, All Saints Episcopal Church is outside, usually giving some lemonade out to the marchers and everything. And of course, as you get down to more of the housing area in Fanwood, of course, you see a lot of people who just bring out their lawn chairs and just sit back and relax, awaiting the parade. So we're just a few minutes away from starting. And look at all the people outside. Man, they have really packed the side of the street this year.
They really have. It's a lovely day out, and the family just love to get out and see the parade, which only comes around, once a year. So it's really good for the kids. I remember it used to be something I'd look forward to all year. Everybody looks happy.
And we want to thank our Comcast for assisting us today for the use of their truck, as well as all of our camera operators as well, especially up in the bucket truck. That's why we have the overhead view, which you'll see periodically throughout. But as you see right now, we have a ground view of everyone here, and there's the overhead view right there. As you can see, the start of the parade is about to happen.
Exactly. Our lovely camera people have been helping us out today, all from Scotch Plains Fanwood High School, well, except for one who's an adult operating the bucket truck because the student's going to go up there because we may die. But it's all good.
Yeah, and a few gusts of wind as well. So very refreshing breeze, and because there's no clouds out, the sun's kind of beating down, but nevertheless a very nice day outside.
It will
today.
be. The breeze, especially for the marching band. I know that their uniforms are very insulated, and it's going to be good that they have the lemonade realization and also the breeze to keep them from heat stroke.
Well, hopefully when they're not playing, then maybe they can get something there. But obviously you'll see an assortment of floats today. A lot of them are on trucks. Of course, also highlighting towards the end of the parade, Battleship New Jersey float as well. And you'll also see many of the local groups as well. Some additions to the parade include the SPF Lacrosse Club, which started this year, which is at the back end of the parade today as well. So you'll see a lot of your favorites. Of course, all the Fanwood Council members, Scotch Plains Council members, and the freeholders as well. They're getting set to go. And just an assortment of groups today. Of course, also for the kids, for the youth baseball, youth soccer, and the Cub Scouts, Boy Scouts, and the Brownie troops out today as well.
A lot of youth coming over to show American pride.
And what happens is those groups usually line up behind by the Scotch Plains Library, and they come out onto the road through Bartle Avenue.
All getting ready and set to go. You can see that all the children, well, most of them, a large percentage, have those little American flags handed out by DECA of Scotch Plains Fanwood High School. So they seem to be keeping content.
And basically right now, and we are waiting for the start. That the start of the parade goes to the Grand Marshal, and this year it is Don Wussler who's running the show, able to get all of these groups together. And he is going to give the go-ahead any minute now, and that is when we will start. As you can see, we're both on TV, Sarah.
Hi, Mom.
And just a fantastic day outside, though. And you can hear the band playing a little bit in the background. They're located on Front Street right now, getting ready to make the turn onto Park Avenue.
They have been rehearsing a lot, actually, for the Memorial Day Parade. I can hear them from my house, and they have been taking this very seriously, and I think tonight's going to be a very good display from them.
And it always takes at least a couple of months to get this parade in order, from everything from the groups to the scripts that everyone reads off of from DECA and us, and to the order of the parade and getting everything well in order today. And you can see the Fanwood police chief is right there talking with on his walkie-talkie, probably communicating with Fanwood to make sure that they can time their ceremony right, so the parade will come right after.
Yeah, a lot of careful consideration goes into this. I know that it's not a spur of a moment decision. Parades take time to grow and flourish.
And we'll see if there's a little bit of a delay here. They're still waiting to probably to see if they can get everyone in order. There's usually at least a 10-minute gap between. DECA, of course, is well presented today. They are going to be the public address announcers, as they always are. Representatives from the high school as well.
Very eloquent speakers.
And there's some kids there waving home. It's great for the kids, too, especially to see all the fire trucks and the police cars and all the kids there waving for the camera over there in front of the lawn chairs as well. So
It's really nice. I know that a lot of families come out to make it a really nice day before going off to their barbecues, which I bet a lot of these people are.
Yes, definitely. If you haven't had a barbecue already, today is probably the best day out of the weekend to have it.
Fry up those hot dogs and hamburgers and veggie burgers for animal-friendly viewers.
That is a beautiful overhead view just before, and a couple of, especially there's a man with a Giants hat here. Of course, Giants won the Super Bowl this year, so.
So I've heard.
Yeah. So, huge Giant contingent out today.
People from all types of, well, actually no, I've only seen Giant stuff. I guess Scotch Plains is a Giants town.
And it looks like we're still waiting for the start, so you can see a little bit of around the town, and just you can see the streets are lined very well today, all the way the width of the sidewalk. Everyone is out, and I'm sure it's the same way throughout. And it looks like the police officers are taking their spots in the car, and we're going to be set for the start of the parade. And I think I hear some engines revving, and the car is starting, and I think the parade is within under a minute to start here.
Sirens are revving up. I guess they plan on speeding.
And here we go. And there you go. That's the start of the parade right there. So, and we are pleased to bring you the 2008 Memorial Day Parade. And Sarah, who is first leading off?
First, we have the Scotch Plains and Fanwood Police escorts. The Scotch Plains Police are led by Chief Brian Mahoney, while the Fanwood Police are led by Chief Donald Dominowski.
And as you can see them right there, and they are getting into their cars, getting ready to lead this parade. Chief Brian Mahoney is in the Scotch Plains Police Cruiser right there behind the motorcycle to lead the parade. And here we go as you see them go.
Nothing says patriotism like a blazing siren.
And there they go down the street. That's the beginning of the parade. And there's Chief Mahoney right there. So a pleasant hello to him on this Memorial Day. And of course, we want to remind everyone why we really are here through the barbecues is to honor the troops and who have died, and those who are currently serving or have served right here. And now coming up down the street is the American Legion Post 209. The American Legion is an association of former military personnel who served in the armed forces of the United States during the time of war. The American Legion membership numbers 2.1 million nationwide. In the SPF community, the local chapter is the Post 209. Its membership count is 250 men and women, and the primary purposes of the Legion are to protect the rights of veterans, to foster the spirit and friendship associated with military service, to promote the patriotism, to help needy veterans and their families, and to support the youth of America and in their academic pursuits.
All right.
And you can see them in the convertible right there.
Going in style. Next, we have the Sons of the American Post Legion 209, which is comprised of descendants of the members of the American Legion. Its program of 10 ideals: patriotism, health, knowledge, training, honor, faith, helpfulness, courtesy, reverence, and comradeship. The Sons of the American Legion consist of 60 members who assist Legion Post 209 in meeting its goals. Squadron 209 is involved with charitable patriotic events as well as advocacy to the veterans and American-related programs.
And as you can see, Nick Bruno, who is a Scotch Plains Fanwood graduate, in the parade today. And you see the veterans of the Foreign Wars, Post 10122, and the St. Columcille Pipe Band as well. So Veterans of Foreign Wars is a veteran service organization of former members of the United States Armed Forces, and they are involved in the following activities: to visit veterans hospitals, advocacy of veterans memorials and observances, and sponsor and support of local charitable endeavors. So, and then the pipe band from there is very outstanding bagpipers as well. As you see the veterans of the Korean War passing by, those are who we're honoring today.
Exactly. Next are the outstanding bagpipers. The St. Columcille Gaelic Pipe Band of Kearney, New Jersey was founded in 1949 by the late Sean McGonigal. While appearing in many parades throughout the metropolitan area, they also compete against top bagpipe bands in the United States, Canada, and Scotland. The bagpipers are currently set tone for the parade the entire day with their inspirational Irish music.
So those are the parade honorees right there, and coming up next is the Scotch Plains Fanwood High School Raider Marching Band as we get set here. And there's the Grand Marshals for today as well, leading the Raider Marching Band in. The Raider Marching Band received various outstanding section awards, including Best Music, Best Percussion, Best Color Guard, and Best Marching. The SPF Marching Band is a competing member of the United States Scholastic Band Association, where they competed in Allentown, Pennsylvania for the All-States Group 6A Finals. This year, the Raider Marching Band placed second and had a final score of 88.6. The past 7 years, the Raider Marching Band has not scored lower than a 90 in New Jersey State competition, and they're right in front of us. Yeah, they're really good right there. The percussion section was awarded the title of Best Percussion Section for the 4th year in a row at the New Jersey State Finals. And speaking of the percussion section, here they are as well. Right in front of us. And they are sure that they will not disappoint, as of course every year they march to the Armed Forces Medley, taking a piece of action there. They celebrate from the Army, Navy, and Armed Forces as well. And there's the directors, Mr. Duran Thomas, John Gillick, leading the back of the parade as well. They always do a good job.
Next along the route, we have local dignitaries led by the New Jersey State Assemblywoman Linda Sender. She's the Democratic candidate for the House of Representatives in the 7th District.
And marching also, the Union County Board of Chosen Freeholders, Al Mirabella, Rayland Van Blake.
All right, Scotch Plains Mayor Marks and Township Council members Pauline Coronado, Kevin Glover, Jeffrey Strauss, and Nancy Malul.
And Mayor Martin Marks is leaving the mayor. We'll talk about that in a second, but Fanwood Council members are there. Mayor Colleen Marr, and then David Balian, Bruce Walsh, Catherine Mitchell, and Donna Dolce, Joan Wheeler, Joseph Higgins, and of course only a couple are marching. A lot of them are down in Fanwood right now. So as we mentioned before, Mayor Martin Marks is leaving the mayorship this year, and he's going to be running for the Republican race in the Senate, or House of Representatives, to try and take Mike Ferguson's place.
All right, next we have the Moonlighters, consisting of professional musicians from Scotch Plains and the surrounding communities. Under the leadership of Bob Birch, the fine musicians have the band gain a great deal of pleasure performing to the public. The Moonlighters are pleased to honor America by participating and performing in today's lovely parade.
And following them is the Italian American Club. Since 1973, the Italian American Club has supported many local civic groups and charities. They also erected the monument at Ashbrook commemorating the Battle of Short Hills. And as you can see, the Italian American Club is responsible for many functions throughout the year, including the Labor Day Festival right by St. Bart's, and they also have an annual golf outing as well. So they will stop as the parade's starting to back up a little bit here. And the Italian American Club is right in front of us, but look as we listen to the Moonlighter Band. Moonlighter Band is playing. You can see the Italian American Club waving up to the bucket truck there on the camera there, and of course the Scotch Plains Police out in style today, protecting everyone in the community and on this special day. Look at everyone just sitting there enjoying the great day today. Of course, there's always a lot of goodies out there, Sarah, getting those little candy that everyone throws out and the little flags.
My absolute favorite part of parades, the free candy and flags. It's really nice to see a new kind of spin on the classic Freedom Ring. For my competition, rather.
And we want to remind everyone, if you're just tuning in, this is the Scotch Plains Memorial Day Parade 2008, and it should be a great day, and it's already been a great day so far. Great weather, and all the kids out today with their flags, celebrating being very patriotic. And as we get set here, the parade moves on as the Moonlighter Band is complete. The Italian American Club is right behind them as well, and they're moving down the street as well. And I see the Scotch Plains Rescue Squad should be coming into the screen, and they are going to be here right now.
All right, following suit, the Scotch Plains Fanwood Rescue Squad, celebrating its 71st anniversary this year, has remained a 100% volunteer organization since its founding in 1937. Under the leadership of President Dan Sullivan and Captain Ed Fieldler, the 53 members continue to maintain the highest standards of service and the most up-to-date equipment. The squad is very proud to recognize Harold C. Hill Jr., a Marine veteran of the Korean conflict, for this 50-year anniversary to the squad and the Scotch Plains community. Thank you, Harold, for your service to our country and community.
And of course, we got a little wave there from the ambulance coming down the street. As well, a couple of Scotch Plains Fanwood High School graduates representing the rescue squad today.
Saving lives day after day.
And as you see, more of the rescue squad coming in. And as the ambulance closes, and coming up on their way in the car right behind the ambulance is the Scotch Plains Lions Club. The Scotch Plains Lions Club provides many services for the betterment of the community, and they are noted for providing an iMobile for our residents. And I think there's more members of the Lions Club there as well in that car.
Taking pictures of the crowd. Very nice.
I think we might have gotten a picture there too. And coming up next, as you can probably hear them as well, is the Saints and Sinners Dixieland Band.
Joining us again this year in our parade is the Saints and Sinners Dixieland Band. The very popular band appears in many country clubs around the state. They've been appearing in our parade for many years now and are one of the favorite attractions.
Yeah, they are, and of course they're able to get a truck as well, and they're always a crowd favorite there.
Bringing some soul to Scotch Plains. Known for their red trombone.
Yeah, you always like the red trombone, always makes an appearance every year. And I believe there's going to be a couple of, I think the Scotch Plains Baptist Church is not with us. Of course, they're a historic part of the community. They've been so since 1747, and it looks like they were here unless they go in another part of the parade. But moving right along is the Fanwood Scotch Plains YMCA Adventure Guide.
Exactly, the Y is here us today, where the children end up to do a lot from the start. At the Scotch Plains Fanwood YMCA, they believe that the strong communities nurture the strength of families. The children will start early and finish strong. YMCA Adventure Guide is a program that provides for children ages 4 and older and designed to do just that through activities that relate family, community, nature, and fun.
And you can see the nature right there. They have the Korean theme. Of course, they have the Korean flag, and they have teepees outside to...
A nice camp out theme.
Yeah.
It's really great weather to camp out, actually. They thought that one through.
No, definitely, indeed. So there's a little bit of a gap right now as the YMCA Adventure people leave. Of course, the YMCA is also good for many things as well, swimming lessons, to aerobics, to sports as well. So YMCA making a very good appearance today in the parade.
A staple in the community, to say the least.
And I think they're spacing out things right there because the next group is kind of far down the street. But we want to remind everyone, this is the 2008 Memorial Day Parade. As you see, everyone is out today in lawn chairs or just clapping along, enjoying the scene out here today.
You can see the families clapping along. I guess I can still hear the Dixieland Band in the distance.
And I think that's why they're stopped briefly, is the Dixieland Band might be stopped to perform for people down at the corner of East 2nd Street and Park. And we want to welcome everyone. Of course, Sarah Drum is a freshman at Scotch Plains Fanwood High School. So while many freshmen are being a part of today's crew.
We like to take hold.
And it looks like we're about to go restart the parade a little bit briefly. And coming up next is the Modern Academy of Fine Arts. And for 35 years, the Academy of Fine Arts has taught children of all ages to enjoy the pleasure of movement. Today, they are very proud to honor the veterans of the Korean War for their courage to keep our country free. And there they are on the overhead.
In glitz and glamour.
Yes, they are very patriotic as well with their dress. And they're able to get a truck too with there as well, so if any of them get tired, they can always hop in the truck. And it looks like coming up next is Cub Scouts Pack 4.
Exactly. Next we have some scouts from the Cub Scout Pack 4 marching along in honor of our veterans, as is everybody today. Very nice, holding the flags high, the Scout way.
It's going to take a lot of work too, holding up this flag for that whole time. And of course, it looks like double duty there. One of the participants is also wearing baseball jersey, baseball apparel today. And they have more of a float. Wow, that's really convenient that they got a float this year.
Very.
So they don't have to walk, so they got a nice little sitting there, just waving around.
Nice tent too, I see there.
And,
a lot of people are going on with the camping theme today.
And Fake doing some campfire marshmallows as well. I'm sure they're probably never as good as real ones though, but. Well.
No, I gotta say I do like my marshmallows to be real. A person thing, I guess.
And we have more of the troops here. And I believe this is the Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts of Fanwood and Scotch Plains. And the purpose of scouting is to provide an educational program for boys and young adults to build character, to train in the responsibilities of participating citizenship, and to develop personal fitness. Packs and troop from around Fanwood and Scotch Plains are marching together today. And as you can see, the various different troops. They have the First United Methodist Church troop there.
All seem to be sporting the same Scouts honor.
Yeah, very excited to be a part of this parade as they are there. And of course, wow, look at this coming down the street right there. They have a car.
Ah. Wow, that must have taken some time. Looks like paper mache, maybe?
Yeah, I think so.
Pack 98.
Yeah, they're pushing it. There's no one riding in the car, but 3 of them are pushing the car down there. And that looks like they're from Pack 98. And coming up next down the parade is the Fanwood Scotch Plains Girl Scouts.
Yes, about the Club Scout equivalent for girls. The Girl Scouts of the United States of America is the largest volunteer organization for girls in the world. Since 1912, Girl Scouting builds girls of courage, confidence, and character who make the world a better place. The Fanwood Scotch Plains community of Girl Scouts has over 780 girl members and 77 troops from kindergarten to 12th grade, and has served as volunteer leadership for over 150 adult members. A really, really great community. And you can see them throwing out candy to the crowds.
Candy is always a staple there. And Sarah, you were part of the Girl Scouts, weren't you?
That I was back in my younger days. I sold the cookies.
Yeah, you like the cookie sell? We all enjoy the cookies, I think.
I do not joke about my caramel delights.
What's your favorite flavor of Girl Scout cookies?
Caramel delights. They are so good.
I like the Thin Mints.
Those are good.
So as you see, many of the troops here coming to visit and giving out candy to everyone.
Here we also have the brownies following along, which will hopefully, well, they will. They'll advance to the Girl Scout type. And even lower still, we have the daisies. Just little girls starting out, but they're all in the community nonetheless, helping raise patriotism for the Vietnam War veterans.
And the parent involvement is just so great as well.
Yeah.
You know, the parents really spend a lot of time helping out with the Girl Scouts.
They all volunteer, actually, so you can see that they really do care about building these girls' character. One of the favorite, I think, troops of the day, the Girl Scouts coming by. You'd be surprised to see how many Girl Scouts there actually are, because, I don't know, you always see them in school, but you don't really know until they're wearing their vest. The classic vest.
And as you can see, they're still coming here. It always seems to get a little more festive when they're here.
Yeah.
They're a prime part of the parade as well. And are they getting older? Are they getting older as they're coming down the street here?
They age, exactly. It's kind of like watching things in fast forward. You guys are getting older.
And it looks like there's a troop. Let's see if we can see the number there.
52.
52.
352.
352.
McMeekan Brownie Troop. I belong to the school One Brownies.
And there's the Washington Rock Girl Scout Brownie Troop from McGinn School, 496. And I think that's the end of the Scouts right there. I don't know. Happy Memorial Day, Troop 857. No, but there's still more. Wow, they have all come out today.
There are a lot of brownies in the community. In fact, almost every girl I knew growing up in elementary school was a brownie for at least one point in time.
And I think that there's so many that they have paused the parade for a second. They're a little backed up here. As well, you know, I've always wanted to sit in the wagons. The wagons and have someone pulling you down the street. Now that's always something. And we have more brownies coming down. That's the Brenner Brownie Troop 828. Always decorative in their brown or green vest. What's the difference between the brown and the green vest?
The brown vests are worn by the brownies, who are a lower level of the hierarchy of brownies, or Girl Scouts, because they advance to Girl Scouts. The girls in the green vests are wearing Girl Scouts, and if you saw earlier, the little girls in the blue smocks, those are the daisies. It goes Daisy, Brownie, Girl Scout, and then from there on, there are a lot of advancements you can place. I only made it up to Brownie.
Well, that's okay. You wear the brown vest. That's always good. And it looks like the end of the Girl Scouts is coming. And now we have the Fanwood Scotch Plains YMCA Dance Department, and they were founded in the spring of 2001. It began with 25 students and now houses 120. Classes are taught in ballet, jazz, and tap to ages 3 to 8. Morning, afternoon, after school, and weekend classes are available. Although the Fanwood Scotch Plains YMCA Dance Department is not a performing school, they do offer an annual dance review as well. Annual dance review themes have included Circus, It's a Small World, The Seasons, and this year's theme honors the 60th anniversary of the YMCA with a theme entitled Dancing Through the Times. The Fanwood Scotch Plains YMCA Dance Department also offers a summer dance camp, and the summer dance camp includes classes in choreography, dance history, music, costuming, and of course technique. For more information on the YMCA Dance Department, call 908-889-8800. And I was reading continuously because this group is always huge. It's the Scotch Plains Fanwood Youth Baseball Association.
Exactly. Already walking down, we have the Scotch Plains Fanwood Youth Baseball Association, which provides baseball opportunities to the youth of Scotch Plains and Fanwood aged 6 to 15 years old. This organization was formed in 1955. The association has 70 teams featuring over 800 players, 265 coaches and managers.
And not as big as I thought, because we have next coming up is the Scotch Plains Fanwood rhythm sets as well. They moved up in the parade order as well. Under the direction of Mr. Joseph Rio, they have performed at various concerts and festivals throughout the year, including the Festivals of Music in Boston, Massachusetts, and the second annual Day of Percussion here at the high school. The group rehearses twice a week from 7 to 8 in the morning before school and is very happy to be participating in the parade. They always have a decorative float with the Hawaiian outfits there as well. And coming up is the Scotch Plains Fire Department.
Exactly. Let's see. All right, the Scotch Plains Fire Department. The Scotch Plains Fire Department is led by Chief Jonathan Ellis. Each year, the fire department's 2 stations responds to over 1,000 calls for assistance. A very brave troop.
And they are out in their full vestments today, out on the street. And I see a couple of Scotch Plains graduates as well, walking with them.
And it seems we have Smokey the Bear following suit as part of the fire department.
Yeah, and he is a great public figure there to prevent forest fire safety and fire safety as well.
Only we can do it.
Yeah, so they have the truck and Smokey's waving to the crowd, and you get a good overview of him on the overhead camera there. Thank
It's
goodness
nice to
for
see
that.
that various species come out tonight to celebrate the Scotch Plains Fanwood Memorial Day.
And we have more of the trucks coming down the street. There is the pumper truck there. And
Classic red color.
And they have more of the engine trucks, and then coming up behind them is the hook and ladder, and there's the last view of Smokey there on the monitor. They brought 3 trucks out for today. Actually 4 trucks.
They like to come prepared. One of the largest organizations, the fire department. And definitely one of the bravest.
No doubt about that. There's the ladder right there.
The firefighters waving about to the crowds.
We want to remind everyone, if you're just joining us, this is the Scotch Plains Memorial Day Parade 2008. Rob Dawson, Sarah Drum on hand to give you all of the action as we are about midway through the parade, a little bit more than half probably. And coming up next, it looks like, is the Fanwood Lions Club.
Exactly. Chartered in October 1949, it's made up of men and women just like you. They are presently 30 members strong and making a difference in the community. They are a Christmas tree club with challenges from Helen Keller to form a group to help with blindness. The Lions Club over the years has branched out to help many in different ways. Lions do make a difference.
And they have a nice decorative float there as well, decorated right in front of the truck. And that is the way to go. Sitting in the back and sitting on those chairs, they're just enjoying the time right there.
Seems like they'll be tossing out candy soon too.
And it looks like we're going to jump down to the Fanwood Youth Organization for baseball. The FYO Baseball was founded in 1962 to provide the youth of Fanwood and Scotch Plains an opportunity to learn and play baseball in an organized setting, which emphasizes fun and fundamentals of the game. As you can see, many different teams represented there. There's the Red Sox there, and then they have some of the younger groups participating in the orange, the purple, and the light blue teams. And you can see a little bit of the Cubs in the background as well, coming down the street. So FYO having a pretty big contingent out today.
And it seems like they are throwing candy into the crowd too. Smarties, it seems.
Oh, I love Smarties. Maybe we can get a few, Sarah.
It seems like they can throw them pretty well being a baseball team.
Indeed, and that's also another organization, and you can see today that the parents are just so fundamentally and so important to performing there.
Very enthusiastic about the children.
Now, I think we're going to go back up to the Metropolitan Festival Band, and they switched the order a little bit. This band performs all year and in the tri-state area for parades, festivals, and concerts, private affairs, and much more. Each member is a dedicated musician, and the band is continually growing in the performance numbers. So you can see them just exiting the screen as the end of the FYO group we see there on TV, and right behind them is the Metropolitan Festival Band. And coming up next is the PAL football.
Exactly. The PAL, Scotch Plains Fanwood League, is a non-profit organization that promotes positive interactions between law enforcement and the community. The PAL currently sponsors youth sports such as football, cheerleading, baseball, wrestling, and girls softball. I know that especially going to the middle schools, a lot of people are involved in PAL, a very nice group, presenting football to all of our citizens.
And they have brought a pretty big group of crowd here as well with the truck. and some of the floats as well. Some of the members are waving flags, others are sitting down on the back. And coming up following them is the Scotch Plains Dare program truck. And of course, Dare is always in the elementary schools, well actually the middle schools now since it's in 5th grade. And they are an important member of telling kids that drugs and alcohol are not good. And they are always there to resist drugs and violence. So Dare, as the Dare Mobile comes down, very integral part of the community.
Very. All the middle schools go through a DARE program to help learn the drug awareness resistance education that the town has to offer. All right, I'm walking still on the screen. You can see the DARE mobile going. Sirens and all.
Looks like they want to space it out a little bit, so there's a little bit more space now. And now it looks like coming up the street is the MCJROTC from Wright High School. They're our drill team. We're pleased to have them all the way from Rahway today marching in the parade, and they've been a staple here for many years.
Exactly, coming down with their rifles to salute off to the Memorial Day viewers. A very brave team. The ROTC, I know that Scotch Plains has their own branch, which has been going strong for a while, but I think actually this year is the ROTC in our town's last year. Drilling off, you can see the drill sergeant.
Okay. And it looks like here, coming up behind the ROTC, when we're going to actually they're going to do a demonstration here before we get to the next group.
Very impressive handwork by the ROTC. I know that it's something that they pride themselves in very much so, and they've earned it.
And look at the synchronization too. And much to the applause of the crowd here as the drill team is continuing their act, and they will march back into formation and go down the street. So the crowd really liked that.
And the crowd goes wild.
As you can see, there's a float for the Battleship New Jersey. As the band coming down the street is from the New Jersey Historical Society. And coming up next is the Friends of Jazz, and they only have 3 people, but they sound like they have 10 today. Following them is the Fanwood Rescue Squad. It looks like we have a couple of spaces here. The Fanwood Rescue Squad is in its 60th year, providing emergency services for the borough of Fanwood and neighboring towns. The squad is a 100% volunteer operated, serving the community 24 hours a day, each and every day of the year. They have 33 active members that serve the community, attending training classes and participating in community service activities. The squad is made up of men and women from the community. It's critical to recruit new members to join the squad to provide emergency care to Fanwood at Scotch Plains and support volunteerism. If you are interested in joining their team, please call 322-9000. That's 322-9000, or check out their website at http://www.visitfanwood.com/rescue. They need your support. And also coming up is the Fanwood Republican Club, and Robert Manduca for council there. He's driving his own car, participating the parade.
All right, and we seem to be followed by more of the Scotch Plains Historical Society dressed up in clothing from the ages, advancing from, it seems, pioneer days to about the 20s. All right, the Scotch Plains Historical Society pays homage to the military personnel who gave their lives in service to our country. The ultimate sacrifice of these men and women makes it possible for us to live in a country where life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness is our constitutional rights. Our Historical Society is dedicated to preserving our national and local history. One of our society's primary functions is to share with our heritage to the general public. This year we offer a special salute to all the men and women who served this year, as we offer a special salute to them to serve in the United States Marine Corps. Let us always remember with pride all the men and women who died in service to our country, which is what Memorial Day is really all about.
Yeah, it really is. So that's through all the celebration and all the barbecues today. It's important to remember that as well. And as you can see, the Cannonball Museum, there's a very antique car there coming down the street. This Historical Society is very prominent around here. You can see those information blurbs on those blue signs in front of historical landmarks in
Exactly.
Scotch Plains.
Whenever driving, just look over to see the blue sign. You know that you can read the little blurb about it, but it is a historical landmark in the town, and they're all pretty interesting. You'd be surprised to see one. There's a couple over on Lambertsville Road if you want to check those out.
And coming up next down the street is Jeff Serdinsky's Martial Arts of America, and it was like to wish everyone a happy Memorial Day. The Martial Arts of America is located at 2520 Route 22 East in Scotch Plains, right across from Bowcraft. Martial Arts of America is led by their chief instructor, Mr. Jeff Serdinsky. Mr. Serdinsky is an internationally known certified 6th degree black belt and member of the USA Hall of Fame, and he is the president of the United States Martial Arts Alliance. And Mr. and Mrs. Serdinsky are longtime members of the National Taekwondo team. They returned home from the World Championships with 5 gold medals each, and it looks like they're going to do maybe a little demonstration, or let's see. Yes, they are. Here they
Some
are.
board breaking is going to be taking place. Very impressive.
Wow.
It seems that these kids train a lot. You can see them varying in belt colors, all the way from brown to black, red, green.
And they currently teach over 1,000 students at their academy and have been in business in this community for over 18 years. The students and instructors of the Martial Arts of America wish everyone a great day and are proud to support our troops and veterans in this special parade. Mrs. Serdinsky's brother is a U.S. Marine and is currently overseas fighting for our freedom, and they salute all of the men and women who have served our wonderful country and march in their honor.
All right, up next we have the Fanwood Fire Department. The Fanwood Fire Department is commanded by Chief David Ziegler. At present, the department consists of 6 officers and 35 dedicated firefighters.
And as you can see them right in the middle of the street, and they are going to pause right now as it looks like the Karate in Motion might be doing a demonstration. They also, Karate in Motion has that beautiful Hummer there with the flags, decorated in flags for the day. And following the Hummer, and we'll just get a shot of the fire department coming on.
The Fanwood Fire Department is very prestigious in the town, protecting its citizens every day from fire safety. And that's not actually all they do, the fire department. They are really a helping hand of the community, willing to do whatever task is needed in the town.
Indeed, as you see, more of the Fanwood fire engines came out today, and you see everyone is looking at in awe of all of the fire department people there, and you see at the end, you see down the street lined with fire trucks. We're coming to a close of the parade, only a few more things to go. And as you can see, we're a little backed up here. The fire department is stalled right in front of us. But once again, we want to thank Comcast for helping us as well, and for orchestra and for the town of Scotch Plains for allowing us to use the bucket truck. As you can see, that's a beautiful overhead view that you just looked at there. And those are the faces of the Fanwood Fire Department.
True American heroes.
Wonder if we'll get a siren here. Maybe not. Don't want to scare everyone. And they have the smaller ladder truck, and the last one that's decorated the most is the huge ladder truck behind. Just a great day outside today, isn't it, Sarah?
It's really nice. I know that sometimes Memorial Day gets a little too hot, a little too cold, and it makes it uncomfortable for the family, but today that shouldn't be an issue. Everybody's perfectly content out and watching the parade as it should be.
Well, 5 years ago in 2003, when I was in the marching band, the parade got rained out.
Yeah, that has happened before in the past. It's a little disappointing for the kids, but Mother Nature, She takes over first.
So the fire department's taking a little time, and some people enjoying the scene out here today.
You can see behind the big ladder truck, we have an antique fire truck, that's red.
Yeah, that was some of the old days where this smaller truck was better for navigating through the woods and tight spaces. And
The crowds today are just immense for people coming out and celebrating Memorial Day with the rest of the town. It's really nice to see everybody get together and come out.
Yeah, and we have a new addition to the parade here. It's coming up. There is the Scotch Plains Junior Women's Club. They're celebrating their 60th year as well, and they have numerous. They have some walkers there. They got a little kid in the wagon there. That's a great way to go as well. And
Very nice driving along.
they have a convertible out as well, so you can see them. They also have a big sign there, and they're doing June 23rd through the 27th. There's 9 to 12. There's a Aloha camp or something going on. And I think celebrating is coming up the road is the Terrell Road Baptist Church. There's a couple of additions to the parade now in the back because they're not on our program. And now coming up next is the SPF Lacrosse Club.
All right, the Scotch Plains Fanwood Lacrosse Club was established just this year to introduce youth of Scotch Plains Fanwood to the fastest growing sport in the U.S. The club provides instruction and the opportunity to play against other teams. The program is open to boys and girls, grades 3 through 8. It's really nice. I know that a lot of people are very excited to have the lacrosse team come to town because it is a very much rapidly growing sport, and a lot of people have taken complete opportunity of what was set before them.
Indeed, and my brother is actually part of the 6th grade boys lacrosse team as well, and it is one of the fastest growing sports in the U.S., especially in New Jersey as well. When I'm down in Maryland, that's one of the hotbeds of lacrosse there. So, and I was a broadcaster for women's lacrosse on WMUC Sports down in Maryland. So, a huge group of people here today, and a great showing for everyone. Carrying their lacrosse nets as well. So, it's a group of people coming down the street, and it's really going to catch on. And of course, neighboring Westfield already is more established with that as well. And coming up next is the Rhythmatic Martial Arts Academy. It is part of the Korean Olympic Taekwondo style based academy that also teaches mixed martial arts. They teach ages 3 to adult, and all classes are taught to music, and they are located at 1761 East 2nd Street in Scotch Plains, which is across from Pizza Brothers. Come in and enjoy the School of National Winners. So they can see, so it's karate to music. That's pretty interesting right there.
Exactly, a lot of aerobic activity to get kids in shape, and also it's really fun. I know that a lot of kids enjoy going out for karate.
You can see everyone on the side of the street really celebrating this parade. And coming up is the Fanwood Democratic Club, and it looks like they're handing out flyers too. And also located is the Center for Hope Hospice there as well. They're located on Raritan Road and on Martine Avenue on the south side of town. So there's a little bit of a gap here. We got a little bit of karate here as well, and they're going to do a demonstration.
Seems that some of the children seem to be holding nunchucks.
Yeah. And the crowd really enjoying that performance there. So, and they perform right in the middle of the town, right in front of Town Hall. we're just to the side of Town Hall between Bartle Avenue and Westfield Avenue.
The children really love to come out today, as you can see on the monitor,
Yeah.
of all ages.
And there's a little bit of a gap in the parade, and now it's time for the antique cars, and one of them is always driven up by David Bierman there, and then George Staniak, George Roser, Stephen Schultz, and Robert Ritchie driving around in historic cars. They're always a fixture of the parade, and when those antique cars come down, you know that the parade is almost over.
Exactly. I remember every year you always look out for the antique cars coming down as one of, I think, the most influential part of the parade. Seeing the antique cars, as far as when everybody comes out waving, it's a very community-based organization they have here.
Very old cars there as well, so very, very nice showing here for the parade. And we want to remind everyone you're watching SPTV, Scotch Plains Television, Channel 34 or Channel 902. And we are here for the Scotch Plains Memorial Day Parade 2008. As you get a shot of the hospice presentation there. The parade is a little backed up. I think karate and the Rhythmatic Karate group has also done another demonstration further down the street. So that's why we're taking a pause here. Along with Sarah Drum, I'm Rob Dawson. It's good to be back home.
Good old Spiffy.
And there's our cameraman Angelique Ibarra giving us a little shout out there with us today. So we're pleased to bring you the parade from the front by Park Avenue, right by the side of Town Hall.
Angelique Ibarra, the camerawoman there, is also director of a 24-hour movie that came out of the high school called Proceed with Caution, if you guys want to check it out at home.
And Angelique will be graduating this year, and let's see if we could get a shot of some of the people inside of those cars. And there they are. They're enjoying today as well, but they still got a little bit of a while to go. See, they're at the end of the parade, and they have to go through Fanwood as well. So they're just beginning, while everyone here is just ending.
Exactly. I think everybody who owns the antique cars are really looking out for Memorial Day as one of the days to show off and bring the cars out. And also the dedicated crew working on producing this Memorial Day parade, such as Lilia Perez directing, technical director Brett Coffey. We also have Will Kempner and Jamie Sweeney out getting interviews. We have Tanea working in the truck too, along with Blake Lyons and Angelique Ibarra on camera. And produced by William McMeekan, who was my TV production teacher. And he now has a new role in the community as a very important broadcast something for the town. And also, we always like to thank Enrique Casanovas for coming out with us and letting us use the Comcast truck, which we take full advantage of whenever he comes.
And as you can see, more of the antique cars coming down there. And we want to also thank Comcast and Township of Scotch Plains for use of the bucket truck. And that's the overhead view that you've been seeing all day. And it looks really great from there. You can see everything from up there.
It really is. Very lucky for us to be able to get that shot tonight. I know that a lot of people had to come out and help us to achieve that, but everybody was more than willing to come out and help with the Memorial Day Parade this year.
And it looks like we're wrapping up the end of the antique cars. I was giving a wave there. Just a lot more than we thought here. There's probably 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4 cars, it looks like.
All clean to really perfection. If you look at them, the shine is just amazing on those cars.
Yeah, they really have decorated really clean them up and get them in tip-top shape for this important day.
Even more than vehicles or antiques, they're really just pieces of art.
And looks like that car coming up behind this one is a little late there getting in, and it looks like it sped up just at the last second there to try and get right behind the other car. And it looks like we have one final car. It's the silver one coming up.
Metallic.
Wrapping up this beautiful Memorial Day here on the last antique car. So right here, and I believe coming up right as we get to the end of these cars here, that is the hydrogen fuel car by Mr. Mike Scheiser as well. So that's from Mercedes-Benz. It's the F-Cell and hydrogen support, and hopefully we'll be all driving those sooner or later and really cleaning up the environment there.
Exactly, cut down on carbon I can't remember the word, but exhaust, pretty much.
Coming up is a late addition to the parade is the Pine Glen Fire Company from Snowshoe, Pennsylvania. You can hear them right here through there, and that's one of the more antique trucks. They got searchlights there as well, so coming originally from Pennsylvania.
Snowshore, Pennsylvania, coming up from.
Yep, and as you can see the truck. Giving a little bit of a siren there, and comes in a magnificent truck coming down the side. And coming up next is the Westfield Community Band.
Exactly, the Westfield Community Band now has its 96th season in the area's premier community concert band. The band has been featured in numerous area events such as the John Philip Sousa Centennial Celebration and Westfield Bicentennial Celebration from recent years. The many boast more than 75 members, many of whom have been in the band more than 20 years. The band is most widely recognized for its renowned summer concert series held in Minneswater Park in Westfield since 1918. The recognition of Memorial Day, the band plays traditional patriotic melodies, including many of the official songs of the United States Armed Forces. The band is conducted by Dr. Thomas Connors in his 4th season with the band.
And that looks like, as you can see, the closing shots of the Westfield Community Band. They're historically last in the parade. And as you can see them traveling along the street, tuning their horns on this, playing very patriotic music as well. And that, as they trail off in the distance, as you can see them, that will just about do it for the Memorial Day parade.
Exactly, as they leave, you see the crowd start to disperse, and it's been a lovely day out here on Memorial Day. Definitely one of the best celebrations I've seen in many years.
Most definitely. It has been a beautiful day outside from start to finish. As you can see, some closing shots of the crowd waving goodbye, as now the crowd will go into the middle of the street there, and then they'll reopen Park Avenue shortly. And that will just about do it for the Memorial Day Parade. Sarah, did you have fun today?
I had a lot of fun. It's really great to come out here on such a beautiful day and be with the community and see all that we have to offer.
Indeed, from all the sports organizations to the arts to historical, it's been a great day. And that will just about do it for our broadcast on SPTV. You've been watching the 2008 Memorial Day Parade. For Sarah Drum and all of our crew, and for Comcast, I'm Rob Dawson saying so long from the downtown of Scotch Plains. Have a happy Memorial Day.